2, 1. Hey guys, here we are, the Quiggin Out MMA Podcast, episode 55, and we've got not one but two guests, and my guest doesn't even know who the second person is, so we're just gonna bring him in right now. The first person you see on the screen, no longer Uncle Creepy, the one and only Ian McCall. And who's this guy? Hold on, who's this guy? Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
Yeah, boys. What's up?
And then we have Eddie Wineland. So we just started, Eddie. So you literally
No. Monty Laphog.
Yes.
Oh, first of all, what are you wearing?
I got your shirt, buddy. Right?
So this worked out perfectly. So Eddie called me like 30 minutes ago and was like, "Hey man, I can do tonight if you're still up." And I was like, "You know what? Yeah." So Eddie, if you can't see it back here, that is the poster from UFC on FX3.
Okay. Yeah.
That was almost 10 years to the day where both of you actually fought on that card. So let's do a 10-year reflection of where you thought you'd be in 10 years and where you actually are right now. We'll start with Ian because, I mean, you're just a jack of all trades, man.
Yeah, I thought I would probably still be on top by now. Back then, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be fucking king forever," and I was not. You know, now I'm basically I don't want to say life coach. I mentor a bunch of pro athletes. I'm a psychedelic integration coach, to make it simple. I help high performers perform better. I've got big wave surfers. I've got race car drivers and snowboarders, Olympians, fighters. I've only have one fighter I'm truly working with one-on-one with my MMA skills as a coach. Or my striking skills. He's a bare knuckle boxer, but you know, I get to work with a bunch of really high level performers and take them to the next level. You know, they're trying to be great. There's a lot of really good people out there, but there's a motorcycle. So I live on PCH.
I was like, what the hell?
I live literally right on PCH, so it's really noisy. But yeah, now I get to actually work with really interesting people from Red Bull, from Monster, from Factory Hyundai and Lamborghini and all these cool places. So it's nice. I like where I'm at.
I'd say that still puts you on top there, buddy.
You're
still on top.
Yeah, I'm creating champions. I'm not that same person. I don't have it in me to go try and do it anymore. So I just get to help these kids reach their goals.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a win.
Yep. All day.
I gotta love Eddie. He's always so damn positive. Like,
not always.
What have you been doing, man?
Dude, family life, training, working, building cars, you name it. You name it, I'm doing it. I can't sit still. You know, back to the 10 years ago. Where'd you think you'd be? I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow, and I mean, here I got a soon to be 8-year-old and a soon to be 6-year-old, and I mean, you turn around, you blink your eyes. It's like, hey, Dad, I'm graduating high school. You know, so it's one of those where, you know, last summer we did nothing but camping and fishing all summer long. Dude, best summer I've ever had in my entire life. Best summer I've had ever was just camping and fishing all summer long with the family, and gave me a little taste of life after fighting. You know, I was still in the gym, still training. You know, but I didn't have to be there. I was there because I wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. And dude, it was awesome. So had no idea where I'd be in 10 years. You know, I'm married, 2 kids, got a house. I'm doing good. I'm in a good spot.
It's good to hear, man. And my daughter and my godson are out there. They're 9 to 10. Yep. And I'm a single guy, you know. I treat my daughter like my girlfriend. You know, her mom's.
Wait. You need to clarify that.
As in, she gets all my free time.
Okay.
I'm a businessman and a coach. That's what I do. You know, I coach athletes and treat them like kind of like my kids. But she gets all my free time. I coach her jiu-jitsu team twice a week. There for like 4 hours, and because she lives with her mom during the week for school, she has her little sister there. She's gonna be brother or stepdad. It's a family life. Dad's a weird, crazy person that works in psychedelics and with fist fighters. So, my schedule is not normal, and plus I'm learning disabled. from school. So if I wasn't good at athletics and my parents weren't so wealthy, I would have been labeled autistic or, have some sort of learning disability. So I'm not good at school. I've never been able to do her homework, even at like second grade, third grade. I was like, not happening. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure my 7-year-old's already smarter than I am. They're rattling off times tables. I'm like, Jack. In middle school, I had to keep the same times table about 3 times before I could actually make it through.
Yeah.
So school was not my strong suit.
The kids though these days they're so much better than we were. I mean, at everything. I see the level they're at with jiu-jitsu or striking or what have you, anything.
Dude, it's evolved so much. You see these 21-year-old kids that are they're rattling off this stuff. It's like, dude, where did that come from?
Yeah, right.
What is going on? What in your brain made it seem like that was freaking awesome? But how did you put that together in your brain? Yeah, it's intense. Like I said, he's in first grade and they're doing multiplication. I don't remember doing multiplication until I was in middle school.
Yeah, me too.
So,
and I was good at that shit. And that was the best part, is that it was like, I felt so smart. I was like, I got this. And then I hit like 10th grade and I'm like,
unless it's got a plus sign or a minus sign and I've got a calculator, I'm out.
Yeah, but remember, we were told all through school, you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket.
Well, I'm looking at it.
Well, we didn't listen in school, obviously, so
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What was the old Rocky saying? If you can't sing or dance or something, if you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough. Whatever it was. Or
yeah.
That's a song, ain't it? If you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough.
Rocky, yeah, I'm pretty sure they use that in Jackass.
The what?
I said I'm pretty sure they use that in Jackass.
Well, very well suiting.
Oh man, and it's crazy to think, like, Ian, when I met you, like, obviously, London was either just born or like it had to be, pretty close if she's 9 now.
She was a few months old. Yeah, she was a few months old when I met you.
Yeah, so you come from that. And Eddie, I think you're the only active fighter still on the roster from that card. I mean, that's pretty freaking impressive, man.
I'm here for a long time and for a good time, right?
Yeah.
April of 23 will be 20 years.
Damn.
20 years in the fight game.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, I started April of 2003 with my first fight. Started training in February. Fought some backyard bar show in April of 2003, and here we are today.
My first fight was 2002. It's crazy. Yep. Summer. Yep. Wow.
Before it was the cool thing to do.
Yeah. Way before that.
Watch both of your faces right now.
Wait. You're voluntarily gonna lock yourself in a cage and fight this guy? Absolutely, I am.
Yeah, my parents let me. And think where I grew up in Orange County, California. There's like, it's not a fighting culture here. With the rich people, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's what I wanted to do, and they knew that I wasn't, going to college or anything. Or I tried, but it didn't work.
Like, I tried.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I wrestled in college. That's what I did.
Yeah, you should have used that wrestling more often, but I'm just. He's gonna hit me the next time he sees me. I know it's gonna happen, so I'll just be ready.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I've wrestled since I was 6, and I could probably count on one hand in 41 fights 40 fights, the amount of times I've taken a shot in a fight.
Yep. Punch people in the face, man.
Yeah, that's the fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's funny, given that the background that you have, like knowing how long, how much of a part of your life that was.
Yep. Grew up wrestling, but I'm only going to use it to keep it on the feet. We just had this conversation at the gym. I think I'm sitting like number 5 for takedown defense in the UFC at like 95 or 98% something. It's the old Chuck Liddell sprawl and brawl, right? Right? He did. He used his wrestling to stop the takedown so he could knock people out.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember. I started training with Chuck when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was no. I knew I was good on the ground, but something about cracking people.
Something about punching somebody in the head.
Yeah, just something about it. It's just fuck, man. And I was so much better at grappling than everybody else. I don't know why I didn't. I should have stuck to it way more.
There is. I want to say nothing better than a clean shot to somebody's freaking jaw, and you can just feel it. Whack! Everything just lets loose. It's like, yep, that was the home run.
Yeah.
I just hit a home run.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, again, we're going back 10 years. Your Jorgensen fight, man.
that was a shot that when that right hand connected, you can literally feel the life fall out of him. It's like, yep, boom, and he hits a mat. You know, it's like a Major League Baseball player. They know the sound of the bat.
Yeah.
When they hit that bat, they know it's going over the fence.
Yeah.
When I hit him in the jaw, I knew he was out. I knew he was going down. That was it. That was my home run.
That's crazy.
It's a good feeling.
Yes.
I don't think there's any feeling like that. Like, I don't think I would know. Like, I wouldn't know what that felt like. Like, what would you compare that to somebody who doesn't punch somebody in the face? Like, is that like, you know, submitting your professor in jiu-jitsu? Is that like
when you're biting into
some kind of fighter?
You know, when you're biting into something that's not healthy and you get that big, disgustingly huge bite in your mouth and it probably makes some weird noise in your throat. And that same sort of that's really the only thing I can think of that would cause.
Oh my God.
You're stuffing food into your gullet. There's that choking sound. You know, it's real specific.
Yeah, it is. It's a feeling that's hard to describe. If you've never done it, if you've never hit somebody in the face and watched them go unconscious, it's a very, very hard feeling to describe. But it is awesome.
Have you been to a bare knuckle fight?
I haven't. I considered it, but you know what? When I'm done at the UFC, I think I'm just done.
Good. Please tell me good.
Yes. Like I said, the last summer really opened my eyes as to where I want to be and what I want to do, and quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so that being said, we signed 4 more fights, but I don't know that we got 4 more in me. So.
Good to know that. I like hearing that because, and fuck bare knuckle. I like going to coach bare knuckle. It's a new skill set that I can impart on people.
Yeah.
But hearing the noise, hearing how hard my punches. The one fighter I have right now is a bare knuckle kid, Marcus Parker. He punched this dude so fucking hard. And it's a different kind of noise when these kids,
yes,
they know how to do it.
Bone on bone, man.
Yep.
That's bone on bone.
It sounds different, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I've never wanted to fight in the first place, anyways.
It's like when they first started fighting in the Apex, and everything was silent.
Yes.
And all you hear is smack, 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 smack. I could only imagine bone on bone, because the leather smacking the face is enough to make people cringe. But for knuckles, like I said, bone on bone, to hear that firsthand 6 feet away,
I would rather watch.
Blood is flying every fucking.
I believe it.
I would rather watch Silva's leg break, Weidman's leg break, Mir breaking Nogueira's arm, Sylvia's arm break, than hear that sound the first time that I did. Because again, the first time I heard a knuckle hit a skull, I was like, oh,
yeah,
like, that is.
It is.
I don't even know what my face looked like, but I hope it would convey
a very specific crack.
Yeah. It's almost a hollow sound because you get the knuckle, the bone on bone.
Yep.
It's weird. It's not comfortable sounding.
Drop a bowling ball on the concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw a bowling ball in the bowling alley, the one where you throw it up and it hits you.
You guys have ever heard a skull hit concrete? Ever, like off a skateboard, someone falls down and whacks their head on concrete hard?
Yep.
Oh man, that haunts me for life.
Yep.
Growing up, I wanted to do that.
I have a very specific sound in my head.
Mm-hmm.
When my oldest was almost 3, dude, we were shopping, and he was standing in the cart, and I had stopped, and I wasn't paying attention. I took a small step back. I didn't jerk the cart, but I pulled it with me. Dude, he lost his balance, flipped out of the cart, and went straight head to concrete. The sound that made, seriously, you take a bowling ball and drop it from 6 feet straight on the concrete. That is the exact sound. It gives me freaking quivers thinking about it.
Oh.
But, fractured his skull. We spent the night in ICU, all this garbage. And it wasn't super serious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like that sound forever will resonate in my head. It was so creepy. And I felt so bad because, like I said, I was looking away, wasn't paying attention to him, and just took the ever so slightest step back. It was enough to knock him off balance and out of the cart. Dude. Oh, yeah. Makes me nauseous.
Listen, man, you can't see it now, but I got a scar in the middle of my forehead. I was 3 years old and cracked my head open.
Mm-hmm. You head a bunch of times, didn't you?
What?
So your mom dropped you on your head a bunch of times.
On purpose.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I think it's more this area, right?
Yeah.
Not so much here or here, but
here.
Right about here.
She kept dropping it out of my face. I'm sorry, son. Sorry.
In unison, all three of us just did the same.
No. How can you not? How can you not quote that movie when somebody says something like getting you were dropped on the head?
Dude, my mom told me, she said it was January 1st. She was on the phone with one of her friends, and she was like, this is the year. No accidents, no clumsiness. And she said, I walked into the room, and there's just blood coming out of my head. Like, Mom? But the funniest part is I wasn't crying. My head was split open, and I was just like, whatever.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Please turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, and Eddie, you mentioned, I'm just going to jump right in this, look how excited Ian got when he heard there was more fights in you and not doing bare knuckle, because you just experienced that last weekend with Mark being at a live bare knuckle fight. Eddie, you got a fight in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yep.
Who's it?
Cody Stamen.
Okay.
June 18th.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Cody Stamen, June 18th in Austin.
Oh, they haven't fight in Austin. Is that the first? Or no, they have a second fight in Austin.
Yeah, I think they have before, but since everything, I say everything, since Texas and Florida and everything is starting to open back up, they're mainly holding Texas and Florida. Yeah. I was really hoping for Chicago, because this is about the time they normally come to Chicago, is either summertime or But Austin it is. So to Austin we go.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that home down throwdown that was in Fort Lauderdale was supposed to be like Chicago was one of the front runners.
Yeah.
I don't know how Florida won, because nobody showed up for that fight.
I need a reason to go to Austin too. I've been looking for a reason lately, but I got to go to Miami next weekend, so I can't.
Yeah.
Good thing it's the weekend after that. Wait, you're gonna be in Miami? For how long?
For a weekend.
Okay. Doing what?
Friday to go see a friend.
I love putting him on the spot, because he's just like you.
Okay, well, I'm doing this, so
yeah, go away, London.
No, it's my godson. Okay, well, thank you. Bye.
Listen, it's not one of my podcasts without either the microphone stop working. Oh, what's up, kid?
Hi.
Look at her just popping in like, I'm a part of this now.
This is my friend.
My godson.
Oh, hi.
Stand up, you dodo bird. I'm trying to. Hi.
Hi.
I'm dying.
And this is why people watch my show, because they never know what's gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, mine both passed out on the couch.
We're live? No.
Live. Now I'm gonna have to edit you out.
Close the door, please.
I don't like it.
But, what were we saying?
Miami.
Yes. So I have a lady friend who's out there for a conference, and she's,
We'll just leave it at that. You don't have to tell everybody.
That's enough.
You brought it up. You could have just been like a conference, and we could have
said too much.
Yeah. He texts me tomorrow. I'm not going to Miami anymore. Thanks a lot. Man, so when they came to you with that 4-fight deal,
Mm-hmm.
like with that, did they try to give you more, or was 4 what you wanted?
No, four was what he came at me with, and not, honestly, to be honest with you, I was surprised that they even wanted 4 fights. I mean, I was kind of taken back by it, you know, that they think that highly of me, to, especially with my last 2 performances. Not that they were bad performances. My last fight, I was outworking him. I just got clipped, got caught. The O'Malley fight, yeah, I got caught more than a few times, but. Yeah, with my last 2 fights, and for them to come at me and say, "Hey, we want to give you 4 more. This is your last fight on this contract." So, makes you feel good about how they actually feel about you. You know, everybody says, "Oh, well, they don't care about you, this and that." Well, I for myself, I can say that I really feel, at least Sean Shelby cares about me. And I know Dana White has to sign the contract at the end of the day. So if he's signing the contract, there's got to be some care there. So I think at least they're thinking about me, and they think highly of me enough that I've been around long enough that, hey, we still need this guy. We still want this guy, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I was taken back by that. It was nice. It was nice to know that we still know who you are. We still care about you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, their verbiage around fighters has changed a lot. I work with them on a scientific level now, which is, and to sit with them, you know, in business meetings for whatever I'm doing, the way they chat about the fighters, the athletes, is different than they used to be. They're not, and not nothing against the Fertittas and the way Dana, you know, used to be when he had that sort of clearance from his boss, from his bosses. But we were commodities. We were toys.
Yes.
And now they take care of that commodity. You're still a commodity to them.
Yep.
It's
at the end of the day, it's a business. You know?
Exactly. It's a business, and you know, Dana's a good dude. People give him a lot of shit, but Dana's a really good person.
Yes.
And you know, they misconstrue the things he does as like this. They always make it look bad. Like, oh, he tipped fucking some waitress at the wherever he was gambling $20,000. Why doesn't he pay his fighters more? It's like, because he wasn't fighting. What are you fucking talking about? That's his own money. He's not.
That's his money, and there was a contract involved with his fighters.
He just made fucking $7 million in a casino, and of course he's going to give this woman, like, you know, it's they can take anything he does in the wrong way, and make it look bad. No, what? I don't know. I'm on the show. What's going on?
Well, I think that's a. I'll just talk to Eddie since, you know, Ian's too busy for it. But. No, realistically, it's interesting to hear somebody who's, you know, been in the UFC as long as you have, been fighting under that banner for as long as you have, to talk about it that way, because there's so many guys coming out. You know, there's so many outlets that are like, "Oh, Dana's a piece of shit. Why does he?" Do I think fighters need to get paid more? 100%.
Sure. I think no matter what you do, I think we've had this conversation before. Whether you're fighting, whether you're firefighting, whether you're digging ditches, no matter what you're doing. Everybody, no matter what they're doing, is going to feel they need to be paid more, no matter what.
Oh, especially if they're
that's just nature of the beast. That's how it is. Now, I think a lot of people misconstrue Dana as being a dick or just not caring, because he's abrasive. He's very upfront. He tells you how it is. He's very straight and to the point. This is how it's going to be. This is how I feel. This is what I think. If you don't like it, fuck you. And that's exactly how he feels. And people have a hard time swallowing that truth pill. They have a hard time hearing how people truly feel. And they're not used to that. They're not used to people cutting straight to the point. They're, well, you know, I was kind of thinking that maybe if we did this. No, fuck you. Tell me how it is, and let's get on with it. It's that simple. Yeah. You know, and I think that's a big problem. I think that is a huge problem, that people can't deal with that. That's so messed up to me. Let's just quit dancing around here and just tell me how you feel. I love people like that.
Yeah, the model for fighters, you know what you're getting into when you get signed to the UFC. You know what it takes to make more money. You have to win and become a superstar. You can do that yourself. I mean, it's not. It's not rocket science to figure that out. And if people have complaints, then dude, just work harder, dude, become better at everything. Become better at marketing and advertising yourself, become better at business, become better at fighting. You know, it's like, it's not.
Well, that's the thing that, like you said, marketing. These guys, I'm terrible at it. I mean, I should have started marketing myself a long time ago. Shit, I've got Mustache Mafia, and I still don't market it. You know, it's been around since 2019, and I haven't done anything with it just because I'm not good at that. I don't exactly know what to do or whatnot. But these people who get signed to the UFC, there's a whole nother side to this. Now you're in the life. Now there's eyes on you. Yeah. What you do with that, how bright do you want your light to be? You don't have to be the best fighter. If you can find a way to market yourself and to make yourself appealing, there's money to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. I think it's changed from the pure entertainment aspect of it. You know, 20 years ago, they did all the marketing for you because there weren't, you know, all these different avenues for you to be able to use. There weren't all these different things, you know, available. And now you've got at a point where you don't have to be just a good fighter. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be a character. Eddie, you've got the mustache, and we already talked about it. The best mustache in all of MMA right now.
That's, you know what? I may not be the best fighter, but maybe I can have the best mustache. That's the way I see it.
With great mustache comes great responsibility.
Bingo. See, he gets it. He's had it forever. He knows the game.
People respect the fuck out of a mustache, man.
Dude, you aren't kidding. People they look at you in a different light. I'm not even bullshitting you. I cannot tell you the amounts of people that will do a double take that. Whoa, man, nice mustache.
I can't stop myself from looking at this side because I could see it in the light.
Let me see here. Hold on, I'm going the wrong way.
It's like God's there. It's just beautiful. It's there.
It's just there. My goal when I first started it was I want to be able to cover my bottom lip and touch my ears. And I mean it blew up, like went crazy, like as long as it is now in like the first 9 months. Here we go. We got a good start. It stopped growing. Apparently there's this thing called terminal length that I just assumed it kept growing. No, there is a thing called terminal length, and some people's terminal length is 30 feet, and some people's terminal length is 3 inches. Well, I'm not doing terrible. It's actually trimmed a little bit, so I don't know. I haven't measured it. I would guess it's probably a foot side to side, but that's as long as it's getting.
Yeah.
Not getting any bigger.
That's crazy, though. I didn't know that existed either.
I didn't either until I went to, in 2019, I went to the national, it was the Beard and Mustache Nationals in Chicago, and competed with these guys, and dude looked like a baby mustache. I'm looking at these guys going, what? I'm out of my element here.
Yeah.
This guy, dude, I can't even explain it. And I'm talking to him like, man, that's amazing, Bull. He goes, yeah, it took me 11 months to grow this. 11 months? I'm working on like a year and a half here, guy. Yeah, dude. It was
hey, listen, performance-enhancing mustache growers, you know, it's
out. Yeah, that's all bullshit. They don't grow them. I make this oil for it. It's got all these different, the JoJo oils and the almond oil and everything that's supposed to be good for your hair, and it does keep it nice and soft and whatever, but it don't grow anymore. Doesn't grow. Terminal length.
All mine does now is when I do jujitsu, people are like, do you vape? And I'm like, why? They're like, your beard smells like coffee.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I don't know if that was the desired effect that I was going for, but I mean, I guess.
You have a coffee vape?
Yeah. Dude.
I think the one that I made one for Tom Schoaf. I made one for Schoaf. It was a cedar. The ones that I have are campfire and dirt is what they smell like.
Campfire and dirt?
Campfire and dirt.
The only thing missing is like cigarettes and bourbon.
Oh, the mustache wax I just got in the mail. It's coffee, tobacco, and something I can't remember the last one. There's just manly sense.
Yep, exactly.
Leather's the other one.
Oh,
Leather.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Is it like burnt leather or is it like?
I haven't seen it smell together.
Smells of leather-bound books and rich mahogany.
No, it smells like my my library downstairs.
Oh, all right. Take us with you. Let's see this library. It's like 4 books.
I tried reading. I want to like reading so much, and I just can't do it. I had to start listening to podcasts.
Yeah, reading is hard for me. Being special and all.
I can't sit still that long. I can't sit and do this for longer than 20 minutes.
Right away, I want to fall asleep.
Yep.
Right away. So I was taking a nap. But I do love books on tape. I do love reading. I can read scientific articles if I have to try really hard, not just words. If there's information I have to digest, and usually I have to take psychedelics if I want to read. I have to take like an LSD microdose or a mushroom microdose. So otherwise, I just can't pay attention. I can't put it together. Yeah, I mean, I've learned so much from reading. Like at post fighting, I've educated myself ad nauseum on the things I teach now. But it's crazy to think how much smarter I've gotten post fighting.
Yep.
Well, you kind of have to. We've beaten this to a bloody pulp, but there's no contingency plan. Like, luckily for you, Eddie, like the last time we talked, you were literally at the firehouse. And he's like, if a call bell goes, I have to go. And I was like, at no point would I have been like, no, you have to stay. Like,
go save that kitten, man, please.
Yep. I'd be lying if I said I had. I would be lying if I said I haven't pulled a cat out of a tree a time or two.
It's because you're a hero, brother. That's why.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I love it. He's one of the humble ones. He's not like, oh, look at me, I'm a firefighter. Look,
those fucking Stipe type guys,
Oh.
Oh man, I love Stipe.
Yes, he's such a good dude, and he reminds me of like my Chuck. He reminds me of Chuck. Chuck's like my brother, so
he's a giant.
I look at him and I'm like, oh, you and Chuck are so much alike. You can't not like that guy.
Yes. Yep. He's always smiling, always in a good mood. Every time I've ever seen him, so hey man, hey, what's going on? always in a good mood.
Yep.
So.
Well, and I have to thank Ian for that because I went to UFC 203 and I got to see Stipe beat Overeem in Cleveland, which was insane.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. The elevator was not so much fun. The elevator broke.
Was that the night that I was on?
Yes.
So 5 grams of mushrooms?
Yeah.
I took 5 grams of mushrooms and I went to the fights.
No, there was more, but I don't know that legally we're allowed to talk about it on this show.
Talk about the drug abuse, cocaine, alcohol, whatever the fuck else was there. Back then I was on a lot of pills. So I think
let's just put it this way. So now that we're going to put this out in the open, because, why not?
Yeah.
I walked into Ian's room because we were staying. Like he's like, "Oh, meet me at the hotel." I walk in, they're doing coke off the table.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, I was. But a little shit show back then.
Well, yeah, and again, I don't think most of us. I mean, we drank a lot that night. There was a lot involved, but I mean, I was so excited to just be there.
Yeah, I was excited to black out and try and fight Louis Gaudino and his whole team in the elevator.
Yeah. Dude, I barely remember.
But apparently I tried to fight everybody.
I do remember the Uber Jack. That was funny.
The what?
The Uber Jack.
Uber Jack?
So we were trying to get an Uber to leave the arena, and there was, 6 of us? And we walked up to a car, and the guy's like, I've been waiting for this lady for 30 minutes. And Ian looks at him, like, dead in the eye and is like, if you take us instead, biggest tip of your life, I promise you. It was like a sign on that. Like, it was a tiny car. It was not big enough for 6
The
people.
only thing that would have made that better is if you said Ian looked at him dead in the eyes and said, drive, motherfucker.
No. Oh, it gets better. So we get in the car. So we all pile in. Well, the lady shows up, and she's like, get out. And we're all like, no, we're not getting out. Starts screaming at us. The guy gave her the finger as he drove.
What a dick.
Oh, man. That was a good night,
Missed
man.
your opportunity, lady. You're late to the show.
Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure he made a couple hundred in tips that night just from the rest of us. because we all pitched in. I don't know, but I don't think I've ever told that story on the air, so I don't know how much trouble we're gonna get in.
That was allegedly I was doing cocaine.
Yeah, those were sugar cubes.
No, it was, it was stage cocaine. It was for the movies.
Right.
We were shooting a documentary about cocaine and me.
And then we hung out with Matt Brown in the hotel like bar. He just like popped in.
He was just sober and being Matt.
Yeah. Oh man. No, and you're right though. I got to talk to Stipe once. I've only got to interview him once, which I'm sad about because honestly, you're right. He's one of the nicest dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I talked about after he became champion, like, did they treat you any different at the firehouse? He's like, no, I still have to clean shit out of the toilet. Like, it still happens. They're like, hey, champion, come here. Come here, we can come for you.
Come clean this shit, please.
Yep. And I think that says a lot. That says a lot about him as a person, that here he is, UFC heavyweight champion, and still wants to be a firefighter. I don't know how much money he's made, but I guarantee it's significantly more than I have, and still wants to do good and help people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is huge, and that says a lot about his personality and the type of person he is.
Yeah. I'm sure he's had a couple 7-figure paydays in his life.
Sure. Absolutely.
And especially with having a good income, he's not burning through everything. He doesn't live outside of his means.
And that's, there is no reason that he needs to be firefighting. He doesn't have to do it for money, or he doesn't have to do it. He does it because he wants to do it.
Yeah.
He's just I just think he's one of the good ones. I think he's genuinely a good person.
100%.
Yeah, and I believe that. And I think both of you, obviously the firefighting aspect for you, Eddie. Ian, you're doing so much to help the newer generation coming up, whether like you said, you're working with these different organizations, you're working with these different athletes on a different level than just like, I want to be your coach, I want to be in the limelight, I want to, take all the credit. You're really trying to set these guys up, or set any of these people up for better performances and better life.
Yeah, TBI healing is one positive side effect of all this, but I'm trying to get to the core of what these athletes, what is the driving force behind them being a fighter in the first place? Some fucked up shit happened to you to have to do this for a living. And we don't. Coming
from two guys who combined had like 40 years of fighting experience.
We go in there and we're acting out our childhood traumas. Okay. And no one wants to talk about that, or the fact that we're going in there to give and receive PTSD in our underwear for blood money in front of them on replay. So
I hate that I laughed at that, but I think we both laughed at the underwear part, not the PTSD.
That is honestly that's a very, very good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to help these people unpack it. And to be selfish, obviously work with fighters. I work with a bunch of people, but the fighters specifically, they're trying to do something so great in their lives, so wild, that they took that trauma and they used it for their benefit. Well, now you're here, you're in the UFC, or you're signed a Golden Boy, or you're racing for Lamborghini, or surfing big waves, or fucking whatever it is. You come to me and you're good, but I'm trying to help you be great, because the way you become great is that I clear out. Well, there's two ways. The first one is becoming so obsessive with something and having the physical gifts on top of it, talent, the skill, the balls, all of it, the right timing. This shit happens more than we think. And then you have this you are a great, you're in that upper echelon of athletes. Okay. A lot of times, look at Lance Armstrong, kind of a piece of shit, like a lot of those guys are. Kobe was an asshole. Of course, nobody wanted him to die and his daughter, but he was a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Worked so hard. Michael Jordan's even fucking more of an asshole. And that's, you become so great. You're obsessive and you're just, you're so self-centered. If I can help people unpack this sort of stuff so that they can clear out those traumas. So number one, they're not getting in the way of the performance through anxiety and this other stuff. Oh, octagon jitters. if we deal with this certain stuff, you won't have these things happen. You're in this cage for a reason. You're in this position for a reason. Let's get into flow. Let's hold a constant state of flow when we're in these peak global performances, where we can see things from outside the box and we can access all of our techniques without being held back by anger or emotions or anything that's going to get us into trouble. And also, on top of that, I don't want people to be looked at as a John Jones or a Conor McGregor. Okay, these are two of the greatest fighters we have in the world. They're looked at as fucking monsters or shitty people because they've done shitty things. They're just humans doing human things. That's what it is. And if I can get fighters and athletes to be looked at as heroes, to be looked at as martial artists, to be looked at as these upstanding individuals who are able to accomplish something that other people can't. It's just the facts. If you could, you'd be there. It ain't fucking easy. If I can help these people just be the best versions of themselves and be role models, and do it all with love and respect and integrity, then that makes it. That makes us with better examples of strong, healthy men and women that we can look to in sports. These are our icons. These are we're not killing each other on the battlefield like we used to. We're even in that regard. The veterans. I work with veterans too. Veterans and fighters go hand in hand. These are the people I take to the jungles to heal. They don't need to heal in front of some Western shaman who's going to talk about light and love and energies and whatnot. They need to sit with these people, these indigenous folks that are going to wring them clean of their traumas and their all the gnarly, hungry ghosts that embed inside their tissue. And man, when you're sitting in a jungle with 20 veterans, special spec ops guys and fucking savages, and you hear the things that come out of them and me and whatever else is going on, it's life changing, life altering, and I'm just the boatman. I ferry the most dangerous people in this world from this world to the next. They can die, they can be reborn, and I can bring them home safely, and then teach them a bunch of stuff on the other side of how to be better, I only give them tools, breath work, meditation, this, that, whatever, and just try and help people succeed. Even if it's post fighting. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're fighting or competing anymore. I just want you to be a better person.
Awesome.
I don't know what to say after like you hit, like, I know what you do. We've talked about this. I've seen the documentary, which, Eddie, if you haven't seen the documentary,
I caught bits and pieces of it.
Dude, I talked to somebody about that last night, about how crazy that was. Just watching that thing and knowing that, like, the film crew couldn't tell anybody where they went, and there were certain parts of it they filmed that they couldn't show, and but just watching, like, Dean Lister, like that little segment there,
mm-hmm.
and just being like, whoa, and I wish I knew the NHL player, because that, to me, like,
the Blackhawks guy,
Daniel Garcia.
That's the one that one stuck out in my mind too, where he was talking about, I got millions of dollars, I got a Stanley Cup, I got this big beautiful house, and I'm sitting there wondering what I would look like hanging from the rafters up there. He said, I knew something was wrong at that point.
Yep.
We need to change something. That was I specifically remember that, and I remember Dean Lister going, "Whoa, man, I just died."
Yeah, am I in hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. I'm very, very intrigued by that stuff, and it's very, very interesting stuff.
Well, I think it's something that was so taboo before. Mm-hmm. It was, it's still, you can't tell me it's not widely accepted, but when you start going into the neuroscience of part of it and rewiring pathways and everything else, like, isn't that what, electroshock therapy is designed to, like? It's designed to, like, give your body a jolt, but we're doing it in a completely different way. I say we, like I was a part of this. Like, I know what I'm talking. I'm trying to get through as much of this as I can with knowing how much I know and everything that I've, you've kind of thrown at me. I'm a psych major. Like, the brain and everything else fascinates me. So to watch these things happen, especially with guys like yourself, not everybody 20 years in a fight game can still form sentences like the two of you.
Yeah, and that's I want to get out before I can't. That's the biggest thing, is I want to get out before I can't, and still have my sanity, still have my health, because I do have a family and I have kids that I need to raise. So I want to be able to run and play with them and not hold on, wait, dad can't put one foot in front of the other anymore. But as far as like going back to the psilocybins and the mushrooms and all that stuff, listening to them talk about how just completely rewiring the brain and coming back a different person, and like how it just doesn't change. Once it's reset and it's there. And I'm very, like I said, I'm intrigued by that. It's very very interesting stuff.
I'll send you some gummies. They're the gummies that we have here at Argos. I'm always a billboard for Argos.
I was gonna say, pull up your cup too. You got to do the trifecta: the shirt,
the hat, the cup.
Nice.
I'm giving you shit, but I'm literally wearing my shirt. Eddie's got a shirt, and I literally have a cup here, so I can't do anything.
It's illegal, yes, but
blows my mind. It's a freaking fungus.
Yeah, and
a mushroom.
The thing is I was on the cover of LA Weekly. LA Weekly prints 16 million copies. They print 16 million copies. And me on the cover talking about wearing shirts like this and talking about what I do. I've been in Forbes twice, HBO, all this stuff, doing illegal shit. Because people know that this is the future. And they know that people in 3-letter agencies are taking these: cops, firemen, first responders, doctors, scientists, soccer moms, kids in school who don't want to take Adderall, little 5-year-old kids and women and big people are giving these to everyone because it's good for everybody. Now, this is direct information from Johns Hopkins University. Okay, Matthew Johnson is the first professor of psychedelics in the world. And I'm like, Matt's a dear friend of mine. I'm like, hey, I have pregnant women, or I have these people coming to me for these certain ailments. This is what they're asking me. I need to hear your answer, because then I can correlate mine with it, because I knew we had the same answer.
Yeah.
No, there's no mechanism in the brain or the body that's negatively affected by psychedelics, young or old. Now, there's you could have psychological miswirings that are predisposed, but that's different. Setting an intention is a huge part, and dosing is massive. Now, so we have a gummy through an extraction method that if you take one, you're not going to get high. If you take 3, you're barely going to feel it. If you take 5, you'll have a little buzz. It says take 1 on the tin. You're not going to take 5 Vicodin, otherwise you're going to be doing this, out. So why would you take 5 of these? I do. My bare knuckle boxer, we both took, I would say, probably 5 grams of mushrooms, and he fought. And I was just out there and played the video game that is him. Like, try this. And he worked that dude in less than 2 minutes. But I've heard people talking about fighting on mushrooms, but I don't know anyone who's fighting on 5 grams of mushrooms. But he's doing it. I would have if I knew it back then. But people don't need to be high. Mark and I are crazy. That's different. I've got people that are performing really high level stuff of all walks of life on 1 or 2, up to 10. Usually 10 is the higher amount, the highest amount, I should say. 5 is kind of seems to be benchmark.
What's considered your hero dose?
Hero dose is 5 grams. The hero dose will put most people.
Thanks, Eddie. I feel like I don't know shit about that.
Yeah. A microdose is from 50 milligrams to about 500 milligrams, or half. It shouldn't even be half a gram. It should be like 0.2, 200 milligrams. After 200, it becomes perceptual. You begin to feel it. So I'd say from 2 to 1.5, you have a unicorn dose or a performance dose, which you go out to the museum or you go to do sports or yoga. Over from probably about 1.5 to about 3.5, you have an intimacy dose where you might not want to go do anything, but sit at home and talk with somebody. You're still kind of functioning. And then once you get over 3.5 grams to 5 3.5 is therapy. 5 is what you call a hero dose, which most people go to. They have ego death. They have all this crazy shit. Well, Mark has done enough work with the medicine with me helping him to where he can take 5 grams and go fight. It's over a longer day. We walked into that building floating. I mean, we were just like on fucking point. Everything he said or I said happened. It was wild. Then when you get up to say 20 grams, 5 to 20 is is
go from 5 to 20.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's people have some names for that in there.
We go from 5 grams. You're gonna have an ego death. So let's go 20.
Yes, so it's called the God dose, and we do God doses in San Diego with a shaman of mine. He's the only California native shaman I've met in the industry right now. He's on the board of directors at Decrim Nature. He was on the cover of Double Line magazine. He's a good friend of mine, Shane Norte. And he's part of the La Jolla tribe and the Morongo tribe. And he has a Wamkish. It's a teepee without a top. And, people go really, really, really deep in there. And 20 grams, you got 8 people in there on 20 grams of mushrooms. It's heavy. I mean, this is not for the faint-hearted. And then there's Sweat Lodge after the next day. So it's kind of wild, and a lot of people think ayahuasca is stronger than mushrooms. If you take that much mushrooms, you're going to get the same sort of effect. It's pretty crazy. I've seen my future. I've cleared out so many things in my life where, it's important. And for certain people, that's what you need to do. He has it's basically a church service. It's a federally recognized church, but he has a whole system behind it all. And it's really beautiful to see, one of my best friends in the space really put this all together and create something that's so beneficial. I'm actually trying to take some talking to other people out there probably at the end of this month.
I just want to call a timeout because you were like, it's like church.
Yeah, that's my grandfather clock. Sorry. that was my grandma's clock.
Dude, beautiful. You freak me out because I'm like, they're hearing this, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I got a question for you, Ian. So a single penis envy mushroom.
Yes.
The size of your pinky or ring finger. How many grams would you say? Or milligrams?
Penis envy, I would say it just depends. I mean, how thick we talk. About the same width as this?
Roundabouts.
A gram and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, gram and a half. That seems to be. And penis envies are great. They look like big dicks, Matt.
Yeah,
so,
it looks like a dick farm if you look.
Some are like 20-gram pieces. Maybe they're big. I mean, they're. And I go in to see. I see these grow rooms all the time, and people growing all kinds of wild fungus. Most of them do look like dicks, but man, penis envy is still my favorite. It's still my favorite mushroom. It's something about its makeup, its genetic makeup. Mm-hmm. They share more genetics with us than we do with plants. So I mean, we all come from fungus. There's a thing called panspermia where you look at every single star in the sky. Every single star in the sky, they say now has a planet like ours. This is how the universe works. Well, think of obviously how many opportunities there are for life, but a lot of those rocks don't have life on them, or they're just in some sort of process of life. As they're circling their star, they have the perfect temperature and climate, whatever. A rock being hurled from something, someplace, some person, I don't know, is throwing rocks covered in fungus through the galaxy. They have all the different elements that you need to create life. They found on the asteroid with all 4 of them, but then also they carry fungus and bacteria. So what do you need to create a human, a dog, whatever it is? Fungus and bacteria and those elements for life. So these things are hurling through the fucking universe and just starting to hit planets. And they found fungus on Mars. They found fungus on the moon. They've obviously fungus came here, pollinated the planet through panspermia, theoretically. Where that's also I think where octopus come from, but I think that's more theoretical.
Dude, those things. A little off subject. Netflix, My Octopus Teacher. Holy crap, man!
Really crazy.
Those things are. That's a different life form, dude.
And they come from outer space, I think. But we know fungus does for sure.
Didn't Ricky Gervais just make an octopus joke? He's like 8 legs, 2 brains, 4.
Oh yes, his new special is so good.
I have to get past the first 15 minutes. I love Ricky Gervais, but it wasn't like it didn't tickle the funny bone. Let's just say
it's a different sort of comedy. It's dark too. It's fucking hilarious. But anyways, we all come from fungus. If you have a dog, eat mushrooms with your dog. Just like cannabis helps a dog, mushrooms, the connection you have with this dog is incredible. I was
that's rather interesting.
Sitting there with my buddy's dog, his head on my lap, and I was looking at him. And I was like, "Oh man, Mr. Wigglesworth, you are
Mr. Wigglesworth."
Is that really the dog's name? Nice.
Oh my god.
He's one of those beautiful Irish setters, the long.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see because even my partner at Argos, he has a new puppy. Not new anymore. It's probably a year old by now. By 5 months, this thing was trained in a few different languages, Russian, English, and knew all the cult was perfect. And he's like, I've been microdosing it.
Wow.
I was like, shit. Wow, that was the first thing I heard about it. And now I'm sold. I haven't heard anyone else doing it, but I hope people are because it's a life form. It comes from fungus. So why not eat mushrooms with it and bond?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you were anybody else, I'd be like, this guy's batshit crazy.
I know, right?
I know. Eddie even is kind of like, what? Oh, okay.
No, I'm telling you, I am very, very intrigued by this stuff, and I am on board 100% with. I don't know the facts, but what he's saying, I wouldn't discredit it.
No.
There's absolutely no way I would discredit it.
Too. Yeah, I speak from science. I only speak from the scientific literature that I've read or the research that I've done on my own. And I made sure to check all the boxes. How can I be the face of a company that's technically illegal? Well, I preach for 2 different churches. I donate and work politically. That was my first job, was working politically. I am a celebrity outside of it, a celebrity in the space. I work with all the right institutions. I do all the right education. I teach harm prevention. I tell people like, look, this is responsible drug use for adults. Like you can, and all the things that come with it. And I just hope and pray that they don't fuck with me, and they haven't, because they understand that, look, you guys know you're all taking it. I know the LAPD is educating their police on the benefits of it. Not saying they should take it. They're saying, look, people
can't say that
for them. And again, a lot of police are taking this and firemen, because you guys are getting PTSD every fucking day. You guys should be on mushrooms. Like, hey man, fuck. Look at this whole outfit on. It's not real. Let's just hang out and talk. Let's just sit here for a second. Like, you guys would be able to read people's energy better and have less PTSD stuck on you and worked on the people from your own energies. And I mean, it's a thing that'll come around. I love studies behind it. That's what makes me really happy, because me talking about it, I could just be some asshole shooting off things that aren't true. But luckily I'm not.
Luckily.
Yeah, luckily.
There's never a time you don't talk about something that I'm like, what? But I also, have come to know you, like we talked about, it's been 10 years of this. I think the first time I interviewed was 2011. Eddie, I think the first time I talked to you was 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember all that stuff. Of course. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can remember that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a lot of it, whatever it was.
What?
You said you had a lot of it?
Oh.
Whatever.
Damn. Listen, what are you at right now? 165?
No. I'm slim down in like 158. I've been doing.
Man, you're heavier than I am.
Oh, bro, I got one up to 170. 178, I think, was the highest I read.
Wow.
Probably about 180 on a good day. And
okay.
What is that? 5'6" of 100?
The internet says I'm 5'5", bro. I'm like 5'4 3/4.
Oh, I know.
Good day.
I'll never forget you opening the door and being like,
you're like, who's this little fucking guy? This little pat him on the head.
Man, 170s, huh?
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, basically 180. And I remember I was hiking this thing called Runyon Canyon in Hollywood. It's where all the influencers and famous people go for a hike. It's actually a really hard hike, but I was hiking it all the time, and I got to the top, and I was like, my buddy's like, bro, you look more like a personal trainer than a fighter. And I was like, damn.
I don't like that.
Yeah, chicks fucking love muscles. One thing I found out, but outside of that, I wasn't comfortable, and I just didn't like it. It was too big.
Yep.
Couldn't move that well.
See, if I get to like 156, 157, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable. And it's the difference of right now I'm walking at about 47, 48.
Yeah.
But the difference from like out of fight camp 51, 52 versus 56, just 5 pounds. People look at you like, really, 5 pounds? Seriously? No. Yeah, really, 5 pounds. On a 150-pound frame, 5 pounds is like putting 25, 30 pounds on a 200-pound frame.
Yeah.
So lug around an extra 25 pounds and tell me you don't notice a difference. Dude, but 170? Wow. I don't think I could do it.
I wanted to get buff for a bit, so I got buff.
I fully understand. That's crazy.
I don't think I ever remember myself being either of the weights you're at right now. Damn. It's all right. I don't move like my weight, and I'll keep that for now, because in jiu-jitsu, that's my favorite thing, because people look at you and they're like, "Oh, you're the big guy," and I don't move like the big guy, and they're like, I tell them how much I weigh, and they go, "No, you don't. No, I don't believe that." And then I sprawl and I put all my weight on them, and they go, "Okay, there it is. There it is."
Yep, there's all the weight.
Mm-hmm. Found it.
What were you? The day of the fight, I remember you said you were like 138, 140.
Oh, the second Demetrius fight? No. I was 152.2 at midnight.
Get out.
I did 3 IV. I don't know why I did 3 IV bags. Charlie Blanchard from ATT gave me 3 IV bags. And I was already using pills again. I was bloated. I was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I remember, like, we did the interview, and then I was able to like fanboy a little bit, and I tried, like, you were the first fighter I met, so I was like, all right, I gotta be professional. I gotta like stick to it. And I think didn't I bring you a hat?
Yeah, you might be something.
Yeah, I think it was a mustache hat too.
Yes, the white. Yeah. I had that hat not so long ago, I don't think.
No. Well, that makes me feel good. Like, but that's the thing, is that, that was, we're talking. I'm still trying to figure out how you weighed 30 pounds more the day of the fight. Like,
not good. Yeah. Well, dude, look, I was ripped with a 8-pack, but I had love handles. I could barely bend my arms. Like, my joints hurt. I was such a mess. I really fucked up for that one.
Listen, on one hand, there never should have been a second Demetrius fight.
But there was.
Yeah. But if that wasn't there, we wouldn't be where we are today. So
who knows where I would have been? People always ask, "What?" I'm like, I have no idea. But if you give me the superstardom that they were trying to shove me, put me in that right direction, so I got a taste of it. I already had friends like Chuck and other celebrity types. I had an actual taste of superstardom, like real famous people shit. And I was like, damn, that's cool. But it affected me like a drug. It was just made me crazy. And I probably wouldn't be alive. I probably would be doing crazy shit. I mean, who knows? Realistically, would I have been able to hold on to the title as long as Demetrius did? I don't know, man. I probably would have made some Conor money and fucking got out and just probably embarrassed myself like Conor's done.
Oh,
and it's true. I mean, I've been trying to offer Conor medicine work for a long time. We got some of the same friends, and it's just it's a different world, and I get it. Fighters love to drink and do blow and be crazy, but I'm like, why don't we just unpack a bit? Let me give you a bunch of mushrooms, son. Make you feel better about life.
Do you think you could really help him? Like, I hate talking about him, just because I feel like there's too much. I feel like he's done more negative for the sport than positive. We were getting to that point where people who didn't even know who he was, never watched a fight before, but they would watch a card with him on it. Whether or not that was truly good for the sport, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it was good for the sport. I'm just going to put myself out there and kind of be the devil's advocate there, just because were those people appreciating fights, or were they just watching Conor and nobody else?
Well, here's a funny tidbit. When I went to Ireland twice to fight. The first time I got there, everyone was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm here for the fights." "Oh, are you here for Conor? Oh, you're friends with Conor?" I'm like, yeah. I'm, fucking, we're sharing a hotel room. The second time I went out there, they weren't stoked on him. They were embarrassed by him. And because we don't hear all the shit he's doing all the time at home.
Yeah.
He's been doing wild ass shit because he's a wild ass dude.
Yeah.
He posts pictures with these two brothers they're not even allowed in Ireland anymore. They're in Majorca. They're like mafia style, running sort of people in the country. Connor grew up and knows a bunch of dangerous individuals. He grew up in a crazy place and a crazy time with crazy friends, and he just was the kid that got out. So you give him all the money and no boundaries. He can get away with whatever the fuck.
No rules. Yeah.
He's going to do some crazy shit, just like I would have done. So I don't care what Connor's done in his life. I mean, if it's bad enough, like say John Jones, I reached out to John. If I was able to put John through therapy, I don't need to be friends with John after. I don't like John, but do I want to help John? Fuck yeah, I do. Because when I heard John shooting a gun by himself, hammered in a parking lot on like a holiday, middle of the night, like 3 a.m. in Albuquerque, bro,
That dude needs help.
That sounds like you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't want that on anybody. My best friend died in my arms. One of my other best friends, Justin Levins, killed his wife, a dear friend of mine, and himself. Jeremy Williams killed himself. David Scott.
Shane was the one, right?
Yeah, David Scott asked me on Real Sports. They didn't show this part, but he goes, well, do you I just told him what I'm trying to do. I can't lose more people that I love.
Yeah.
Fighters, as I love all fighters because we're all the same. And he's like, "What do you think you can help them all?" It was just bro. That's probably why they didn't show it. Because I lost my shit. And I was like, "I'm gonna try." They made me get interviewed after 5 grams of mushrooms when 5 grams was.
I think if they want to be helped, I think you can.
Yes,
that's the biggest thing.
It could.
That's the biggest thing. You can reach out to them. That's how it gets started, But if they're either not going to respond or have no interest, you've done your part. You've tried.
Exactly.
So if they want it, yeah, I think you can help them. If they don't want it, well, I mean, unfortunately, you're on your own.
Yeah. But
I think with the work you do, I think there's a third option there, is that you kind of have to explain to them why they need it or why they need to help themselves. Because it's easy to, like you said, it's easy to say, okay, you either want help or you don't. But the results would speak for themselves. But again, they still have to want to do that. And you being somebody, I mean, Ian, you spiraled. Like you had your spirals, and we've been friends a long time, man. And it's to see you completely do a 180, and I'm so glad I know not to say a 360, because I hate it when people, oh, he did a full 360. I'm like, so he's right back where he started?
Yep.
My other favorite one is meteoric rise. I'm like, meteors fall down. So that's never a...
They're a flaming ball of rock that falls down and fucking crushes everything when they land.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's not something you want to be compared to. But you've literally taken, a life that I don't think a lot of people put in your position, number one, would have survived. Yeah. And number two, you've not only done that, you've put such a positive spin on it. And this isn't like riding your dick. Like, I'm just going to be as blunt as possible. So anybody watching, they're going to be like, whoa. But realistically, I believe in what you're doing because I'm seeing, you're not just saying, hey, I'm the best. And they go, why do you think that? Because I am. I don't even, I'm going to use this person and he's going to kill me for this. You guys, I'm sure you guys have seen Ryan Loco's work. Does a lot of MMA photography. He thinks he's terrible. Like the dude will still be like, no, I'm not any good. I still got a lot to learn. And it's a sense of like humbleness, but at the same time, it's like, I don't need recognition for what I'm doing. I really just want to freaking help people.
Yep. And that's the people that you can tell that they truly want to help is when they're not, I'm the best, I'm good, tooting their own horn. It's if you truly are the best, what you're doing will speak for itself and the people will see that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the stage that I'm at with my 7-year-old right now is the kid, whatever he does, dude, he's like, holy shit, just good at whatever he does, you know. But then it's, yeah, I'm good at this, Jack. No, this is not how we do this. If you're good at it, people will recognize that. You don't need to tell everybody how good you are at it, because what if you aren't as good as you think, and then somebody sees that and they're like, yeah, you're an idiot, you know. So let your work speak for itself. And I think by not tooting and just grinding, putting your head down, putting in the research, reading your articles, and having the knowledge, people will see that. It will recognize itself.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I don't want to be at the front anymore. I want to be behind the scenes and just help, just make lives better, make people perform better. Being a coach is where I'm happiest. You know, I can kind of do my thing back there and just let everyone else be the front, be the star, be the attention. I want to just be happy back here.
Yeah.
I want to
and
make
that's how I know this is genuine.
Yeah.
Because I know you like to be out there in the front. You like to be that person, but you've changed.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years.
Yeah. For sure.
Where you don't mind being in the back. And I think that's a firefighter thing too, I think would be safe to say. No firefighters running up and down the street. I don't think you've ever in your life run up and down the street and go, I saved them.
Nope.
Look at me.
No. And you know, that's the thing is there are people. I think that there are very few people that will take that job and do that job just to say, I'm a hero, I'm this, I'm that. But at the end of the day, it's I'm not looking for thanks. I'm not looking, you know, oh, well, you're a hero. No, I'm not. I'm doing my job. It's what I signed up for. It's what I want to do. I'm doing my job. My job just so happens to be helping people.
Yeah.
You know, people say, oh, well, you're a hero. You're this, you're that, you're that. No, I'm not. I absolutely am not. I am doing a job that I like to do, and that's helping people. You know, it just so happens to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. Here I am, like, you know, leave it to me to not, you know, talk about Eddie's fight in 2 weeks, other than just saying you have a fight in 2 weeks. But realistically, that's what every interview is. Every interview is, hey, how's
absolutely. There's so much other stuff going on in life.
Yeah.
That fight is 15 minutes of life.
Yeah.
That fight's going to be here and gone in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else are you doing? What else is going on? You know, I do think that people are interested in it, but I mean, how long are you going to talk about a fight? Okay, I'm going to fight Cody Stamen. He's a wrestler. He's probably going to try and take me down, claims that he's working on a stand-up until I crack him in the face and he realizes I don't want to do this anymore. He's going to try and take me down. I'm going to stuff his takedown. I'm going to continue to punch him in the face. Fight's over. Cool. We talked about my fight. Now let's move on.
We did the same thing how do you think this fight's going to go? Do
Exactly.
You see yourself winning? I would just love for someone to go, nah, I'm going to lose.
Over the shit.
Yep. Exactly. You know, it's nobody goes into a fight with the intentions of losing.
No.
It is a very real possibility. You have a 50-50 chance there. Nothing is 100%. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Nothing is 100%. So, yeah, I have every intention on winning, but it's a very realistic outcome that you could lose. You never know.
Yeah. And I think the craziest thing was when we had you know, Eddie, when you talked about, I was like, what do you want to talk about? And you're like, I want to talk about how my button isn't what it used to be. And I just remember just being like,
uh-oh.
How do I come, like, what do I say to that?
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to say? But I think you realizing that is no different than, you know, Ian realizing that you have a talent for leading people, for helping people, you know, having that self-realization of like, maybe this isn't what I thought I was going to do with my life.
Well,
you know?
it's like you said, you have to kill your ego, and you have to get over that, and you have to realize I'm not as good as I once was.
Yeah.
You have to leave that at the door. You know, if you can't leave that at the door, nothing good's going to come of it. You're going to continue down the same path, and you're going to continue to get throttled.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's a perfect stopping point because the three of us, we could talk all night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, especially Ian because it's only, 8:30 over there.
Oh, yeah, I slept at the kids at the trampoline park. Shit, it's late. Problems.
Wait. So right now this podcast is being broadcast in 3 different time zones.
I'm Central. What, you're Eastern?
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Or Pacific.
So we just need a mountain. We just got to call somebody to be in mountain.
What's Tom? What's Tom? Is Tom Mountain? What's Oklahoma?
No, I think he's Central.
That's Central.
Okay, yeah. Oklahoma's not far west.
Oh, I just want to make this known that I'm angry at every airline right now for $500 tickets, so I can't go see Eddie fight.
Dude, tickets are stupid right now. So, a round trip flight from Midway to Austin was like $800 and some last week. Now, my captain at the firehouse, he was telling me that his wife and his son were looking for flights to Montana in July. Montana. What's so special about Montana? Okay. Round trip flight. They were looking not yesterday, but the day before. $2,000. $2,000. Yeah.
That's so
absolute insanity. What's gas prices out by you right now, Ian? 8 something?
8 something, $9. Yeah. And I'm fucking over it.
Dude, what the hell? We're 550 something here.
475. Like I can't complain. Like I would love to complain about gas, but he just said 8 something, and I'm like,
I know. I'm glad.
I can't say much. I work from home. Like
I haven't sold my pedal bike yet, so we may be busting that thing out.
Dude, I want somebody to just videotape you riding the pedal bike to work, but in like full gear.
Full gear, yeah. Fire gear.
We could put that on TikTok and be one of the cool kids, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll leave the floor open. Ian, tell everybody about where they can find more information on everything you just told everybody, because there is a lot to process.
Yes. Go check out my Instagram, Ian McCall. Look at my other Instagram, the McCall Method. Argos is ARGOS 3 times on Instagram. That's where you'll find Argos, the gummies, the wearables. We're a fashion brand, and you can go on Argos Regimen, RGMN.com, ARGOSRGMN.com to order stuff. And yeah, just go check it out. Go read literature. Don't even take what I say serious. Go Google what ailments you have, what's wrong with you, and can microdosing fix it, or can psychedelics fix it? And something will pop up because you're just a human. You have a bunch of human shit that's wrong with you, and there's other humans fixing that same human's problem with psychedelics.
It's crazy. Eddie, fight 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Are we on the main card at least?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't care. 2 weeks. Let's get rowdy. Let's get rowdy. Let's get home and back to camping and fishing.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
Gotta love that in this sense, fighting is your escape from your job. Well, you can catch Eddie. It's UFC Austin. I don't know if they gave it a number or whatever they did.
I think it's got a number, but I don't know what it is.
Hold on. Let's see.
Fight night something. Fight night.
Yeah, let's pretend like,
I was gonna say I'll fly out, but not with those sort of prices.
Dude, that. Stupid. Absolute insanity. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's literally called UFC Fight Night Austin.
Okay. There you go. There you have it.
But honestly, best of luck to you, Eddie.
Thank you.
I know you put everything into it. Ian, thank you so much. I'll throw in my sponsors, La Barba Cubana. You guys saw me shamelessly plugging that earlier. The beard oil that makes it smell nice and sometimes makes me sound like a Joanne Fabrics. I don't know why that's what I came up with, but that's what it is. Fat Boy Jiu-Jitsu has some really cool stuff on their website for us not so smaller guys. Tim_makes knives on Instagram. It's my buddy who actually started bladesmithing, so it's pretty cool to watch. I did. I got to shout out Gene Click, who was on one of the prior episodes. He did send me a neck knife, and that thing is coming super handy. I don't wear it in public. It's just not my thing because I'm afraid it's going to fall and cut me because that's just the kind of person I am. And then Bertzo's Bake Shop, amazing goods that are in Orlando, which you're not going to be that far from it, but you'll still be like 4 hours away in. So, again, 4 hours away from me again. As everybody can see, Eddie, thank you so much for the shirt. Like, wearing the shirt is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Ian's like, really? You didn't give me one? I'll get something special for you. But the QuigginOutPodcast.com, I'm putting just about anything on there. There's stickers, there's sweatshirts, there's hats, there's tumblers, really anything I can come up with. But most importantly, I'm so thankful to the two of you. This is 10 years of being able to talk to you, of being able to, go on this journey. And I'm just so excited that, what the next 10 are going to, bring us. Because at this point, Eddie, you got that 4-5 deal. Ian, who knows what you'll be doing next year, let alone in 10. So definitely can't wait to see what good comes of all that. So thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Love you, buddy.